Okay, hello Gemini. This is your tarot reading for July 2016. So I'm going to shuffle the cards for a minute. I hope you had a wonderful birthday. It's now Cancer's turn, I believe. The solar birthday, the solar astrological new year for Cancer has started. So I'm going to shuffle to see what the next month is going to bring you. I apologize for the sound in last month's tarot reading. As you can see, I have a little bit of a better computer, HD, with better sound. So I hope you can hear me. I think you will. All right, now I'm going to cut the cards. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Your first card is Ten of Swords, reversed. Okay, now air is your sign, Gemini. It's your energy. You're an air sign. So this tells me that maybe there's a possibility you've gone through a lot of emotional turmoil and you still might be going through that. 10 is supposed to be the number of completion. And so when this is reversed, maybe you're still going through that pain. I have a Knight of Wands. This is a very strong energy because this is fire. Air nurtures fire, by the way. And so we have someone who has a very strong, focused energy. Fire can be also a very quick energy as well. I have Death in reverse. So I'm already getting a situation where you're dealing with a very negative situation. It's not coming to a close just yet. And maybe this even has something to do with a relationship coming to an end, but it's not just yet. It has a lot to do with this Knight of Wands. Okay, I have the Devil. And as you've probably known, for those of you who've been watching my readings for a while, this Devil can definitely mean negative energy, unleashing the ego, very ego-driven, even following your ego, lack of discipline. It's the primal energy that, whether it's sex or love or food or drugs, we are enslaved to that. We're addicted to that. Our ego is out of control. And that can definitely be a possibility with this Knight of Wands, even though it's upright. If it was negative, it would have more meaning. It would make more sense why this Devil is showing up. But this Knight is still upright here. And it could be that this energy from the Devil is coming in to, it's coming in because a situation is gradually getting worse. Let's see here. I have the Hangman. This is going to be in the center of your spread. This is being in a very emotionally difficult situation and you're still trying to figure out, you're trying to seek meaning in all of this turmoil. I have the Justice card. And this is associated with air. You see this Justice with the sword in his hand. And so this is about justice and fairness as well. Doing the right thing. Okay. It can also mean an actual legal decision. And you have 3 major arcana. You have 4 major arcana cards. I think things are really shaking up for you. But what this row is definitely telling me is that you are in an emotional bind about a particular decision or a particular situation that is very hurtful and painful for you. And maybe you're afraid. I think that's why maybe this Ten of Swords is showing up in reverse. I have the Magician in reverse now. 5 major arcana cards. So you're going through a lot of shakeups. And the Magician is about enforcing your will, making changes, the outward change, making things happen, taking control, being disciplined. I have 7 of Pentacles or 7 of Coins. This is the waiting card. Sometimes this is about things that are growing, maturing, and you're waiting for those things to manifest. Those things are going to manifest when I see the 7 of Pentacles. You see this man waiting. He's waiting for the plants to bear fruit, but it's going to take a while. He's wondering, when will this happen? But when it's in reverse, it means that waiting for something to grow, there are obstacles. Maybe something isn't growing the way it should. You're still waiting in vain for something to happen. You're trying to make it happen, which is why I think this Magician is in reverse. And the Wheel of Fortune, this means a turn of events, things turning around. What goes up must come down. So if things are in bad shape now, there's going to be a turn, there's going to be a change. And I think that this is something that you should consider positive as we head into the future for this row. Okay, now I will of course shuffle for an outcome card after the main reading, but I've already shared with you, you've got 6 major arcana cards. This is possibly a huge life shift for you, what's going on in this relationship. Things will never ever be the same. And I think that you're definitely trying to hold on emotionally throughout all these changes and shifts and this adjustment. I see this Death in reverse as trying to save a relationship. And I will be honest with you, sometimes we do need to let certain things die. Sometimes it's good to have closure and begin again. And when we don't do that, when we don't let things, if we don't let things go, and if we're afraid of death, if we're afraid of closure, if we're afraid of moving on, many times, it's no surprise when the devil ends up following pretty soon. And then you get the emotional turmoil with the Hangman, right? And then you have the Justice card. Now, the other interpretation, maybe it's not about letting go. Maybe you should hang on to this relationship. Maybe this situation shouldn't die, or maybe this relationship shouldn't die. But the thing is, holding on to this relationship and not allowing things to take their proper course, meaning if there's someone who is very bad for you, or there's someone who at their point of their life is not at your higher vibration, and sometimes there's nothing we can do about that. This devil could represent someone with low self-esteem, someone who keeps doing the same negative, hurtful, painful patterns over and over again, and you're dealing with all these swords in your back, right? And if it was upright, then this would tell me that, okay, this pain is coming to an end, because afterwards you're going to have a new beginning. And I think that this is very telling with the Death card. because you can see that the sequence of this is that you see this man here, oops, is dead. He's been stabbed. He's been betrayed. Things have gotten as bad, and it's not a literal stabbing or death. But what this means is that things have gotten as bad, the mental pain. Let's say that there was a breakup, and you go through that breakup feeling heartbroken and sad. But the Ten of Swords means that you will need to go through that pain, but things will get better because you see, with all the darkness, you see morning coming. And that's the positive aspects of this Ten of Swords. That yes, things might seem very devastating at the time, but if you're willing to be courageous enough to go through the pain and heal, then, right? If this is upright as well, then it means that you are able to heal and you have a new life. Sometimes things need to die. Sometimes we need to give ourselves closure. But both of these are reversed. So that's telling me, Gemini, that there's a very, very painful, these three cards, Ten of Swords to Death to the Devil. Those are incredibly painful cards. It tells me that there's a dysfunctional relationship or someone who's very dysfunctional in your life, who's causing you a lot of pain. And so when we get to this Hangman, it's all about letting go, trying to make sense of it. You are going through this sustained emotional pain because of what's going on here with this devil, but also because there's no closure or letting go with this Ten of Swords and Death in reverse. Because after the death in these two cards, as I said, there's a new beginning. You start to heal, you start to move on. So this devil doesn't necessarily have to be one person, but I think it's reflecting what happened here in the recent past when you're still dealing with the pain. Maybe you still want this person back in your life. But at this point in time, this person just isn't ready, this Knight of Wands. And I don't know if this person is necessarily bad because he's upright. This person seems to be a very focused, intense individual who's passionate. And so I don't necessarily see this person as a bad person who's deliberately hurting you. I see this person as someone who can't commit, who's in and out of your life for whatever reason. Or maybe they're in another relationship or another situation, but it's still causing you pain and you are unable to let that go. You're still waiting and hoping, and you're still going to be waiting and hoping based on the fact that this is in the future. You're still waiting and hoping for things to turn around, and that is a possibility with this Wheel of Fortune. I'm very interested to see the outcome card, to see how all of this will turn out. So when we get to the Justice card, which, as I said before, could actually be an actual legal decision, the cards seem to be saying to me, Gemini, you're seeking justice, you're seeking fairness. This is about doing the right thing. There could be a legal issue. You know, some of you are probably going through divorce. You're probably actually dealing with real serious legal issues as well in marriages or a relationship. But I see this as you wanting justice. This emotional turmoil you're going through with the Hangman is about the right thing being done. But I also see justice in another way, not just someone doing the right thing or a legal decision. I also see this as justice can also be about fairness, but it's also about you having the ethical, making the ethical decision as well. That sometimes we don't always do the right thing and we end up paying the price for that. And this Justice card might actually be showing up to say, because this Justice has a sword, which represents air, This seems to be something that the ball is in your court about what you need to do. But when we get to the Magician in reverse, it seems that your will is, maybe you don't have the will or the discipline to do that. I see this connected to you as well. In the future, I think that, and we've all been there, to where I can't let this person go. I can't, the hangman seems to be saying to me, I can't let this person go. I'm connected to them. I'm willing to wait, even though I don't see even now how this is going to happen, but I can't let go. So this Magician, which is right next to the Devil, the Hangman, and the Seven of Pentacles reverse, it's telling me a lot of emotional ups and downs, trying to hang on to something. Now this Wheel of Fortune, as I said, I kind of see this as positive. I kind of see a turn of events happening. I mean, you have 6 major arcana. Huge shakeups. This is about really things that are going to be permanent, that are going to change your life permanently. And you may not have control over that, the things that are happening. But I see a good turn for you. I see a corner turning. Keep in mind that just because you don't like the change doesn't mean it's not good for you. I want to sort of give you a warning about that. I'm definitely not going to say that this Wheel of Fortune... Okay, an outcome card dropped out here, so I'm going to leave it right here. I'm definitely not saying that you might like the change that this Wheel of Fortune is going to bring, but I do know that it's going to be in your highest good. And the card that fell out, you didn't see me shuffling. I was shuffling off in the background. But what came up was this Page of Cups. And that is a very interesting card. It's about love and infatuation. It's about having the beginning feelings of love, a crush, an infatuation. It's not serious, but it's the beginning of attraction. And it can also be a message of love as well. And so these things, which are probably going to take place in the next few weeks or even a few months by the end of the summer, I see this Page of Cups coming to you and saying you're going to find emotional hope, new emotional possibilities. You're going to have a new opportunity in love. But it's not just about love in the scope of relationships. It can also mean finding self-esteem, emotional contentment as well. And I think that will be coming for you. Okay. So Gemini, that was your reading. You're going through a lot of changes. Now, this is general, but if you want a more specific reading about your situation, I encourage you to contact me for a personal reading. My description has the links to my online appointment book, and I'm also offering video readings. You can get your own video reading for $20. So I have many different services by email, by phone, by video. So I hope to hear from you. Once again, I hope you had a great birthday, and I apologize for the sound for the June readings, so I hope things are a little bit better now. And I wish you love and light, Gemini, and I hope to speak with you soon. Take care.